How's everybody doing today? So this is going to be kind of a two-parter on a manifestation video that I'm making. I'm going to talk about two different things about manifestation. As you may know, if you've been watching the last, 10 or so videos previous to this one, I've been covering a lot about manifestation, and the reason being is because that's the first thing people are kind of interested in when it comes to spirituality and metaphysics. Especially if they're first getting into it, that's kind of the prize of spirituality, right? You'll be able to be the magician to materialize anything that you want in life, whether it be friends, family, cars, houses, whatever it is, trips, vacations. It's the magic that you receive from that, and that's why manifestation is such a strong pull to it if you don't know much about spirituality. Now, it's one part of spirituality. It's not everything, right? Spirituality is, finding that you're an infinite spiritual being having a temporary human experience. The experience of this life is the spirituality. The belief that you're a co-creator of this universe, and you may have had multiple lives, and you're wanting to keep having an experience because you're exponentially up in the cosmos after you pass away, and you're getting bored, and you come back into a human body, whether you're being the collective consciousness or not. But reincarnation, that's something you may or may not believe in. But having a temporary human experience in this simulation, that's kind of what we're doing right here, right now. No matter what happens in the afterlife, I think that's what's currently happening right now, is you're having a temporary human experience that you chose to have. And you made choices before this on kind of how your life was going to go, and maybe part of that process was you waking up again to your infinite spiritual beingness. But going back to my point, if you're new to metaphysics, the manifestation is the attractive point of spirituality. It's kind of selfish. It's kind of the selfish desire part of it. But it's not selfish when you find out the other things about spirituality. The soul ties and relationships and all that other stuff. You'll understand more than the manifestation if you're studying and you're meditating and you're doing all your practices, watching all my videos, reading the books on it. You'll understand that there's a great world out there that has a lot of connection, more than just manifestation. It's a small part of it. So anyways, to get to the first part of what I want to talk about is, if you're having trouble manifesting, there's a technique that a lot of people do that's very easy, and it's die-hard proof that manifestation is real. It's materializing something right in front of your eyes. And I know I talk a lot about how you can't make the basketball appear immediately in your hand, ding, it's there, magic. There is something that you can do, though, that will form in front of your eyes. And it's a practice the term is called cloud busting. Now, if you ever lay down on the ground or sat down and looked up at the sky and looked at certain clouds, if you want to practice manifestation, and I've done this several times. The very first time I did this, I was actually a child, and I was dumbfounded on doing this, and it's kind of a segue into why I questioned everything after that. I didn't understand I didn't really understand or what the complexity of what I was doing, or how important it was at the time. I just thought it was kind of cool because I was a kid. But I've done this as an adult several times, and a lot of people talk about it. You can look up in the sky. Now, mind you, it kind of has to be a cloudy day, and the winds kind of have to be not really fast. If there's fast winds, it kind of it's hard to do. So I don't recommend it on a windy day, whether the wind is high on the ground or up at altitude. Try to find out, where the clouds are kind of moving slow. That's kind of the best day for it. And when they're kind of full and not getting like separated really fast. So look up at that cloud, and what you're trying to do is form an image in that cloud of whatever it is that you're thinking of. If you want to make it look like a big baby or a dragon or a sports car, you look up there with complete and total belief that you're transforming that cloud into whatever shape you're imagining in your head. Now you have other thoughts going in your head like, oh, don't think of any other thoughts. Focus, just purely focus on that cloud. Whether you truly believe you can do this or not, let go of your thoughts and try it. And then try it more than once. Like if it doesn't happen the first time, try it at least one more time. Especially like when you get a clear mind, that's definitely when you want to do it. Look up at the cloud and start picturing in your mind that the cloud is forming into that shape that you want it to shape into. I guarantee you that's it'll populate as whatever shape you're doing, that you're imagining in your head. I've done this several times, and I've taught other people to do it, and they couldn't believe that it was happening, because it was down to like great details of exactly what they were trying to form. And I said, hey, I'm imagining I'm making this in this cloud, you imagine you make it in that cloud, and we're going to create two different shapes, and you'll see mine and you'll see yours, and be like, oh, without a shadow of doubt. Like one time I was like, I'm going to make this was the hardest one too, because I wanted a gigantic dragon across the sky, like multiple clouds. After I formed a couple things like a baby or a car, like I was talking about, I was like, okay, fine. I'm gonna try a real challenge here. I'm gonna take those four large clouds above me, and that's gonna turn into a gigantic dragon that's flying across the sky. And sure enough, it took me 15 minutes. It was the longest time out of all the other cloud busting that I've done, because it usually took 5 minutes for the other ones. But this took 15 minutes, and sure enough, it was a gigantic dragon that was in the sky. I couldn't. It's like, even though I knew I was making it, it still was really hard to believe. And because you can, since that's a 5D materialization, you know now that you can manifest anything in your life, because you just altered weather with your thoughts. Think about that. You're not just making a small change, you're altering the weather for everyone else out there to see. Like, I'm probably not the only one that saw the dragon in the sky and they're like, oh, look, it's a dragon. And it's like, yeah, I made that. You turn around and tell them, I made that. And they're like, huh? I didn't really say that to people. Can imagine the scenario where you made something that goes like, yeah, I did that. Check it out. Oh, this guy's cuckoo. This guy's a whack job. So, for some of you, it'll be easier than others, but just keep practicing it, and it's like definitely a show of force when it comes to like manifestation. Now, the second part of manifestation that I want to talk about is not so fun. It's basically confronting darkness through the challenge. So, when you have your goal in manifestation, and even in spirituality, you have this goal. Let's say you wanted that Lamborghini in the garage, like I was talking about in the previous video. You know with a shadow of doubt that Lamborghini's in your garage. It's like, boom, okay, subconscious mind knows. Let's make it start working. Now the problem is you're now going to be tested. Now you made the goal. Now you're presented with a challenge, and that challenge is darkness. If you haven't like gotten the habit of like dealing with your emotions, like in chaotic situations, when bad things happen to you, those are the challenges that are going to come up. So you're going to be bombarded with problems. Like your lights will shut off in your house. You didn't pay your bill and you're behind on your bill because your electricity bill was high, and you're like 3 months behind, and they won't turn it on until you pay all 3 months up front, not just half. Where like, hey, make a payment plan. They're like, no, you have to do 3 months up front. We're not turning electricity on. and it costs like, let's say it's $1,000, and then all you have is like $200 in your bank account. That stuff happens. It's like, okay, now where is your belief in your abundance at this point? The challenge is going to hit you as, oh, you have that Lamborghini in the garage, but why are you worried about a $1,000 electricity bill? That Lamborghini is $237,000, and you're worried about $1,000. No, you're not getting the Lamborghini. You're worried about $1,000, and you're trying to manifest $200,000 car, and you're worried about a measly $100,000. I mean, a measly $1,000. Nope, not yours. But if you tackle the issue with, thank you for this bill, thank you for this, showing me this 3 months behind on electricity. Now I'm going to give the money to the electricity company with gratitude. Thank you for giving me this challenge to get that Lamborghini in the garage. Thank the universe. They're giving you these bills and this test. That's how you pass it. I started saying it without giving you a preface of what to do, but I'm telling you how to solve the equation. You thank the universe with gratitude, knowing that you created this situation, because they had to give you the universe and the consciousness had to give you a test in order to get the Lambo. They're like, I want to slam you with darkness and see if you can like guide yourself out of the darkness with gratitude, grace, and belief that you're a co-creator of this universe and this is a simulation. When you realize this is a simulation and you're a co-creator of the universe, you can start navigating through that darkness. And and that darkness can be daunting. It's like lots of things could happen. Friends and family could like start hating you. It's that bad. I'm laughing, but no, it's serious. It's that bad. Like, people that you love will start hating you, and you're like hating you, and like, whoa, what's going on? I didn't do anything to you. What did I do? And they can't explain why they're disliking you. You can't explain why they're disliking you. It doesn't make sense, because the universe is manipulating energies in order to test you. Now, once you get through that, you'll find out who is aligned and who's not. Because remember, I said some family and friends will not be able to like go on your upward incline of raising your vibration. They won't be there. They can't be there with you. Now, you might have them in your life a little bits here and there, and they're gonna like keep questioning you, like, why are you doing what you're doing? Because it doesn't make any sense. Sorry, I'm gonna have to move my phone because it's about to overheat. I apologize. I don't want it to shut off while I'm doing the video, otherwise I'll have to redo the film. So, anyways, yeah. So you'll get these challenges created by the universe, because you need to have that test in order to get the Lambo. You need to have that test in order to get that soulmate. They're there. You've already unlocked the door for them. You know with a shadow of doubt that your soulmate and your Lambo's in the garage. Your soulmate's in your upstairs in bed, going sleeping, and you know the Lambo is in the garage. The Lambo will be there when you go in the garage. Your soulmate will be up in bed sleeping when you go to bed. That they're there. You just assume that it's there. But then you're going to get the challenge, and that's the darkness that happens. Remember, if you have watched any of my early videos, you can't sell darkness. This is something a lot of metaphysical teachers, coaches, and life coaches don't talk about. The challenge is the darkness. So you have to face it and let go of your emotions, your emotional attachment, because that darkness will still stick there if you don't. It's not like you're saying, Brandon, oh, the Lamborghini's not free then, because I have to be confronted with darkness. Yes, you do. To be spiritual, you have to be confronted with your darkness. To let it go, thank the universe for creating, being a co-creator of this universe. I'm an infinite spiritual being, have a temporary human experience. That's how you have to think about it and approach it. Spirituality is it gets easier as you go, but the challenge is difficult at first. Once you start really getting into it, it becomes difficult, because you're going to be challenged with darkness. Because duality of our current reality is we're taught good and evil, light and dark. We're living in a duality 3D existence. Therefore, you have to deal with the darkness and the light. You have to deal with both and know how to navigate through it, because that is our current reality. If we didn't live in this 3D duality reality, then our approach on metaphysics would be entirely different. The way you're taught and how to live your life in a different reality would be probably a different procedure, because you're not dealing with this type of duality. People like Morally Dosed, like, I don't want to deal with darkness. Stay away from me. No negativity. I don't want negative energy in my life. Well, you can't do that, because you're living in both negative and positive charge all the time. Atoms work in positive and negative charge. You're surrounded by all these atoms that are creating the simulation, our reality, energy, and a certain amount of negative energies create certain types of positive energies, and it moves, and it's constantly gaining and compressing. Like, it's always expanding and compressing all the time. It's just part of our reality. So once you let go of the darkness, you'll be able to like float in the light a lot easier. You're a higher vibration, because you'll be able to float in the light. You've learned how to navigate through those energies. That's why you have to deal with the darkness, because you don't know how to navigate those energies if you don't deal with the darkness. If that makes any sense. Like I said, if you guys have any questions in this, write in the comments, and I could definitely do another video on this, because there's more information I could talk about it. It's a large subject. That's why I'm doing a bunch of manifestation videos in a row, so I could get the whole kind of diagram laid out for you if you're watching them in series. So you have an understanding of like how the manifestation works. Or write it to my email, realitysimulator@gmail.com, and I can put it on the video, answer the questions. You can leave your name or not leave your name, it doesn't matter, but if you have the question, I'll answer it on video if you want me to, or I'll just directly email you back saying such and such, and this is why. As always, I greatly appreciate you guys watching my videos, and have a nice day.